Hello, this is Jeff Robertson with Penton Audio USA, and this video is how to set up your Terracom encoder and decoder to stream audio from one point to another over a LAN or WAN network. Remember that all Terracom products, from the Terra Manager to all of our encoders, decoders, Control-IO, DoorStation products, they all communicate via TCP/IP over layer 3 using SIP and multicast network protocol, which means they are able to transmit to each other and monitor Control-IOs from each other over or through firewalls, routers, over a WAN. You cannot stream over the internet, as that is Icecast or Shoutcast, while we can actually encode Icecast and Shoutcast and other internet radio or public streaming channels and then redistribute them across the customer's LAN or WAN. But just remember, we do communicate via layer 3, which means that your IT personnel can easily isolate the traffic, dedicate a certain amount of bandwidth to it on the VLAN, and that we can traverse over routers and firewalls with different local networks. So let's get started. What I have here is I have an FDX module and a couple of EX decoder modules. The FDX programs and operates pretty much the same way as the IEX module does. The only difference is the FDX has a dedicated mic and a monoline signal, and it also has an output, where the IEX just has stereo input or mic and line input with no output for duplex communications. That's the only difference, but otherwise they program and look the exact same way as I'm going to show you here. Launch your web browser and please use Chrome or Firefox. Do not use IE or Internet Explorer, as that has some issues with dropping stuff out, and some stuff doesn't even show up right on Internet Explorer. We will start our Mozilla Firefox, which is what I use here. There we go. Now, I happen to know that my FDX module's IP address is 192.168.100.205. The default IP address on all Terracom products is 192.168.100.1, and that includes all of the ATIS digital signal processors as well. So I just hit enter here, and this brings up to the Terracom login screen. Every Terracom device that we have, encoders, decoders, DoorStations, Control-IOs, decoders with amplifiers, all of these Terracom devices, this will be the exact look that you will see for all the login screens. The default login on all of these units is admin, and we'll tab down to the password, admin, all lowercase. And there is our setup screen. And I know I'm in my FDX because it actually tells me the device and the version of firmware that's in the device. There is a video on updating the firmware. As we add features and functions to these devices, you'll have firmware updates. So once we're in this screen, I am going to go to the Setup #1 tab right here, which is usually the first place you want to go. This tab is actually where you change all your IP and subnet gateway information right here. Also, if you're connecting up to do third-party control via serial, this is where you set up your baud rates and everything, set your time and all the other fun stuff. There is a video on how to set all this up, but what we are going to concentrate on is how to get the audio input into this unit, stream it across the network, and to hear it across the network via the decoders or the EX modules. One thing I wanted to show you, on every Terracom device that you connect to, you can click on this device and it will show you every other Terracom device that either has previously it was connected to and is not there anymore, or is currently on the network right now ready to be connected or used for paging, messaging, and what have you. And as you can see right here, here's my FDX that I've logged into. There's the IP. It shows it online. I've actually connected to an IDAHC. That's online. There's a Terra EX module. That's online. And here's another Terra EX module. This is online. And see, I had an old one that this was connected to at 80 that is not online anymore. So this kind of shows you what's there on the network and their IP addresses. As every time you connect to a device, you can go to this device tab and it will search all the other Terracom and ATIS DSP products that it sees on the network and will display them on this list. But what we need to go to is audio matrix, because we are not doing paging to specific points or whatever. If we were, I could take an input and route it to a specific device, point to point, to an output, but we're going to go just do a regular standard multicast stream. So let's go to Audio Matrix, and this is where we set up all our inputs and outputs and the actual multicast stream IPs or octets that we're going to use. What we have here is SIP is the input if you're connected directly up to a SIP server or a VoIP phone system that you can actually page into this device and then have that routed to certain zones. Here's my mic line or my mic in and my line level audio in. Now my line level audio in, I'm actually running stereo from my iPad. So I'll put stereo and you notice the mic disappeared. So now I'm running stereo. You can actually have messages if you have the USB port, and the monitor is actually an output on the FDX, which I could run to a speaker or a powered speaker. And then the network is using Terracom servers or whatever to manage streams. Also, since this is an encoder, just like the IEX, I have 8 sources that I can actually grab IceCast or Shoutcast from the internet, and I would have to enter the URL right here, and then also what I would stream it out to at that point. But that's another video. Just wanted to show you that's where all that's handled. So we are line level in. We are stereo. We can give it a priority. So let's just say 2. And here's my line out, 1A and 2B. I'll just leave both of these set up the way they are. It really has no bearing whatsoever on what we're doing at this point. This is only local. And I can also say on the line out, what type of encoding do I want to use? And let's switch that to MP3, as that's a lot less bandwidth used than a WAV file would be. And here's the more critical one. What IP address and port do you want to use? All the Terracom products default to port 9012. So if you want to make it easy on yourself, leave that port. Just tell your network guy they need to turn port 9012 on, because that's what you're using. If you change this port on this stream, then every other decoder out there, when you go to enter the address, you're going to have to make sure they're looking at the same port. Let's just change this to show you how this works to 9. So 239.240.100.9. You can see these all default 1 through 8. So I'll just say 9 for that one. And then we got to make sure you hit save. If you do not hit save, it will not go in. If I go to another page and come back, all this information that we just changed will be gone. Also, I can actually control the volume of the stream, and I'll show you that later as we're streaming. I'll just leave it at 30. So we'll hit save, and we're good to go. So if I just remember where my other devices are, I am at 200 and 201. I actually don't know which one I'm physically connected to, so let's hit log out, and we'll say yes. Now I'm going to turn on music right now on my iPad. We'll throw a little Maroon 5 on there, and it's playing right now. Okay, we said we were at 200 and 201 for my 2 EX modules, so let's just go to 200 first, and I'll hit enter. And you can see the login screen is the exact same. The login information is admin, all lowercase. And there we go. Now we go to our Setup 1 tab and over here to Audio Matrix. And in our Audio Matrix, it looks exactly the same, although there is no input except for all the network stuff coming through. And the one input that we're looking at is actually our multicast streams coming in from the network. So we can have multiple cast streams coming in here. We do have a multicast stream coming in, and we will change this to number 9 and leave it at port 9012, and we'll leave all this together, and we'll hit save. And as we can hear, there is no music coming out of this, so obviously this is not the one that I'm physically connected to. So let's log out of this one, and we will go to 192.168.100.201 this time. Hit enter. There we are at the login screen, and we'll do admin. And there we are, setup number 1. And we will go to our Audio Matrix again. And here we are. Here's our source number 1 as a multicast stream that we're doing from the FDX. We will change this to 9, and we left it at port 9012. And let's hit save here. There you go. And that's the streamed audio. I can stop it right here on my iPad. There you go. I can start it again. And if you can see, if I change this IP back to 1, save it, the stream is gone because now it's not seeing the stream. So it's as easy as that. We'll go ahead and change this back to 9 because that's what we set up in our FTX. Hit save. Now, we could go back for output level. I can actually change the output. We're on output number 1. The EX has 2 outputs. So if I change this to -19 and I'll hit save. All right, and you can hear the level go down. If I turn this up to say negative, let's say 6, it'll get a lot louder. All right, let's put it back to -12. All right, so I will log out of the EX module. And just to make sure, what I'm going to do now is I am going to unplug this audio output from this one EX module. There you go. And I'll plug it into the other EX module that we programmed first. And that's the other EX module. So it's multicasting out to 2 Tera EX modules at the same time. Now, if we go back to our FTX module, which was 205, and there you go. We know we're at FTX because it says right there, so I'll log in. All right, and we'll go back to the set. All right, and I just turned this up a little bit so you can hear it. Now, if I go to my auto matrix again, and remember we set the streaming. Here's the streaming at 100.9 port, and here's our volume of the stream. I could turn this way down. Hit save. All right, and you can hear it go way, way down. We'll turn it back up a little bit. Save. There you go, and then increase a little bit more. And let's just take it up to say 19. There you go. And the default is 24, which is actually a very nice mid-range level for the stream. There you go. I will pause this. It's as simple as that. All you have to do is set up your source, the streaming channel that you want to do, 239, 240, 100.109. Make sure it's a 239 multicast. The IT personnel probably will have to assign this to you. If they ask you what you need, that's great, because then you can leave most of the stuff at default. Just worry about this and the port, but just tell them the multicast IP you need and the port that needs to be open, or they'll tell you what to use. And then when you set this stream, every other EX module out there, you just set up for this exact same stream address and the port number, and then all you have to do after that is just play around with the output volumes and the stream volume, and you're good to go. I hope this helps you get started, and there will be a whole lot of videos and a lot of fun you can do with the Theracom products coming in the near future, so keep checking on our website at www.penton-usa.com. Thank you, and have a terrific day.